Welcome to Our Hometown, the show where we take a look at the people and places that make Brunswick County unique. I'm Jim McCallum, your host.
Fellow comrades at arms and the brothers and sisters, we have gathered here to honor one of our own who gave the ultimate sacrifice of his country in defending freedom for democracy, Kenneth A. Gore. I never had the privilege of knowing Kenneth, but we do have something in common by being in the service and being in Vietnam. Kenneth was in the Army, and I was in the Brownwater Navy, which was a small boat over in Nam, up and down the rivers. That's why they called it the Brownwater Navy. I believe if I had met Kenneth, we would have been friends. I've become friends with one of his sisters and her husband, Barbara, Barnum, and Howard. So from this day forward, Post 550 will be forever known as the American Legion, Department of North Carolina, the Kenneth Gore American Legion Post 550.
We're here with Mr. Ronnie Markham. Mr. Markham, you're the post commander, am I correct?
Yes, that's right.
Tell us about the evening and the purpose for being here this evening.
The purpose of this evening is to name the post after an individual that was here, that grew up here in this area in Shallotte, went to this school, matter of fact, and he joined the Army, went to Vietnam, and was killed in Vietnam, and this is to honor him.
And he was the first Brunswick County and killed in the Vietnam War, am I correct?
I believe so, yes.
Tell us his name.
Kenneth A. Gore.
All right, we'll be talking some more with Mr. Gore with some of Mr. Gore's family this evening, but tell us a little bit about the post. You're fairly new as an American Legion post.
Right, we just started back in October. We got a temporary charter, and we just applied. When we named it here, we just applied for a permanent charter, got that back from National through Department up in Raleigh.
Well, we're looking for a big evening this evening, and we have American Legion posts and veterans from throughout the county here today. Is that correct?
That's correct. I have my past department commander, I have my Division II commander here, and my District 9 commander is here tonight.
Mr. Markham, thanks for being with us.
All right.
We're looking forward to an excellent evening.
Thank you. All right.
50 years goes by in a blink. 50 years ago, I had hair. But we had that blink, and Kenny did not. And yet, 50 years later, he is now being remembered and recognized as he should be. And so, while celebrities' names may leave us in 2 days, heroes' names stay with us forever. And I'm just delighted that we could be in a building that Kenny was in as a young boy to honor him and his memory. What a wonderful way life has of making a good circle. And so in a special way, I think we'd like to say, welcome home, Kenny. This is your home and will always be your home. And so, with fondness and reverence, we give thanks for the life and sacrifice of Kenny Gore.
I'm here with Mayor Walt Eckert. Mr. Mayor, thanks for being with us this evening.
Well, this is an important evening. I'm glad to be here.
It is an important evening, and tell us all why.
You know, you and I both served during the Vietnam War 50 years ago.
Right.
And we know, and we've talked about how the climate was very different then. And people who served, and particularly people who made the ultimate sacrifice, as young Mr. Ken Gore did, I don't think got the proper respect. And I think at a time now, 50 years later, we're able to remember his service, honor his service, and give thanks for his service.
We were talking about that off camera, and you said that so eloquently. I won't try to top that at all. We're also here at the Sunnyside School.
That's right. This was, as I think somebody else has pointed out, Ken actually attended this school.
Right.
And the town sort of rescued this school maybe 15, 20 years ago when it was ready for demolition because it's such a part of Shalot history. And to have it preserved and to have it being used tonight is just, it couldn't be better.
And we'll see more of it on camera, but it's a facility that gets regular use nowadays, right?
Absolutely, yes. It's in regular use almost every day of the week, quite frankly.
Yeah. Mr. Mayor, I got to say thank you for your service, and thanks for being here tonight.
It's a wonderful evening. Thank you.
Now I'd like to introduce the Division II Commander, Mark Erskine. Would like to say something.
Good afternoon or evening, everybody. I would like to take the time to say thank you for everybody that's here tonight, showing that we do respect veterans and we don't forget our veterans. Kenneth was, like they've said earlier, a kid growing up in this school, the same building, and this post is recognizing him. And I want to thank the family members for your sacrifice that you paid for him defending our nation. And I also want to thank everybody else here, showing this family that their family member will never be forgotten, that we all remember him today. And the post has named him, their post after him today, and he will be remembered forever. Kenneth joined the service in June 1st, 1966. And unfortunately, June 3rd of 67, we lost him. He went to post everlasting. That's a shame, but it's a sacrifice we don't know when we're going to go. Kenneth did real well in that short period of time. Got 2 Bronze Stars, one with V device, Purple Heart, Combat Infantryman's badge. He was an infantryman, so he was out there boots on the ground. Vietnam Service Medal, Vietnam Campaign Medal. So he did a lot in his short time serving our nation. And I understand what he did because I did that too in the service. And I thank the family, and I thank everybody else here tonight. And I say again, American Legion's continuing its mission, making sure our veterans are not forgotten. Thank you.
I'm here with Mr. Edward Gore. Mr. Gore, thanks for being with us here this evening. Tell us why you're here this evening.
I'm here because I was asked to come to honor my brother by naming the chapter here.
Your brother is Kenneth.
Kenneth.
Tell us what you recall about Kenneth.
Oh, he was a character that everybody really liked. He early on he knew he was supposed to be a soldier, and he wore all kind of apparel that soldiers wear. And then when he turned, he had my parents to sign for him because he was just 17, about a month before, but they signed for him to go, and he went, I think, Fort Gordon, and was basic training, and I'm not sure about AIT.
Was he an infantryman?
Yes.
All right. I'm rounding off numbers, but it's probably been about 50 years since he passed away.
Yes,
right?
June the 2nd, 1967. 1967.
Right. Well, it has been 50 years, and it's a remarkable evening that we'll have here this evening to honor his memory and those of all that died in Vietnam.
I don't have a script here. I just want to thank everyone for coming, and I thank the Legion for this honor that they've bestowed on my younger brother. He was a special person. He did what he thought he was meant to do. A lot of people advised him not to join the Army, but he did. He had friends that were going to join with him, and that didn't work out at the time. But he was just a special person. He had friends everywhere. He never met somebody he didn't like. It was just devastating when the family heard about this. It just didn't, something like this couldn't happen, but it did. And I guess God has a purpose for everything. And I think that we all were blessed. He was blessed to have sisters and brothers that loved him, and he had friends that loved him the same way we did. And I just want to thank you again for coming, and That's all I got to say.
I'm here with Bobby Williamson. He might not call himself a historian, but I will. Mr. Williamson, thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me, Jim.
You grew up right here in the Charlotte area, and as I understand, you're an 8th generation Brunswick Countyan.
That's right. My whatever your 5th generation back grandfather, whatever you call him, they came here as a result of a land grant,
Wow.
and been here specifically in the Brick Landing, Charlotte Point area was where the homestead was, but we've been here ever since.
And we're standing here at the Sunnyside School, which is where you went to school and where Kenny went to school.
Sunnyside School was built and went into service in 1915
Okay.
and served this community and for the next 70-some years.
Now, so our viewers will know it was here on the grounds somewhere. Am I right?
Yes, it was not in this exact location.
Right.
It was kind of on the opposite end of the campus, opposite corner from where it is now.
Okay.
During the 80s and 90s, it was moved completely off-site. It was over on at the intersection of 130 and 17.
Yeah. And
So-
since then, it's been restored, and the city keeps track of
That
things.
that is right. It has been restored. It is almost exactly like it was when I was a student there, which was a long time ago.
Yeah.
And it is just truly remarkable that Sunnyside is so resilient. It has weathered everything that's ever had, every hurricane, everything, and it looks exactly like it did. So.
All right, let me divert from the school for just a second. Give us some recollection of what it was like to grow up here in Charlotte. What are we talking? Almost 50 years ago?
Well, I got to doing the math a while ago, and I was a student in Sunnyside 54 years ago.
Okay.
And as you might expect, it was a close-knit, somewhat rural, local community. Everyone knew
sure.
everyone, and I remember very well when Kenny Gore was lost in Vietnam. That was just a tremendous shock to the community, and it was one of those things that everybody remembered, and everybody knew, and everyone was affected. It was kind of like one extended family, and the incredible thing is that was 50 years ago, almost to this moment.
That's true.
That
That's
is
true.
just to me, that's just
I was struck by that when I heard that this evening. Yeah.
that all of that has happened, and now here we are with Kenny's memory forever enshrined, and Sunnyside looking better than it ever did. So that it's been quite an event, quite an evening.
Yeah. Well, thank you for being with us. We appreciate it so much, and thanks for being a leader here in the community.
Thank you very much. I'm glad to do it, and it's quite an honor.
We
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
This building, this Sunnyside School building, that's what locals call this, is Sunnyside. It was named by Mr. Henry Stone. He was the principal here all of his life. It was built in 1915 and taught students for the next 70-some years, including Kenny Gore and including me. It didn't just teach us the 3 R's. It taught us about life, how to live. We took what we learned in these old-timey walls, and it's good to see that flue is still in the wall back there, because it used to be hooked to a pot-bellied stove, of which I was the coal boy. Honk if you was a coal boy in Sunnyside. I'm not the only one in here. What I like to tell people is you cannot imagine that could never happen today. That could not happen. You could not have 9-year-old children making the determination if a fire in a pot-bellied stove was down low enough that it needed more fuel. And that was the responsibility and the decision of the student. The student decided that, not the teacher didn't tell him nothing. You had to keep an eye out on the stove. And in your estimation, if it got down low, you got up quietly, got the coal bucket, went out there in the backyard and got some and put it in there. It had been done that way forever. Forever. But that was the year that I was here. God, thank you for this. I was the last coal boy that ever was. I was so lucky. I was the last one because the next school year they put in oil-fired heaters. Then we just started going downhill from there. But life and greatness was learned in these walls, as rustic as they are, and it ain't changed a whole lot from then until now. This is the setting that Kenny Gore came from and went to greatness. It's not where you start, it's where you wind up.
Stay connected with your community channel. Like ATMC TV on Facebook today.
We're here at the Brunswick County Law Enforcement Association range, and I'm speaking with Roy Murray. Mr. Murray, thank you for being with us.
Well, thank you. Thank you for coming.
Tell us a little bit about your range.
We've been here since 1974. Of
Right.
course, we're the Brunswick County Law Enforcement Officers Association. The range belongs to the association.
You have memberships.
We have memberships.
Right.
For the most part, it's going to be law enforcement oriented. And of course, we have, different groups. We have like Sunny Point, the military base out there. They come out here.
Right.
Your Coast Guard units out of Oak Island, the USSG Diligence. If you're familiar with the ship,
I am, sure.
that's a separate entity in itself, believe it or not. And they joined also. They come out here and qualify.
You have a number of your municipalities come out here.
We have almost probably 97% of the municipalities qualify here also.
And until the sheriffs opened up their own new
Until last month.
you had them here too.
I had
also.
them here also.
Yeah. Now, you're an association, you have members. Tell us more about memberships.
The memberships, law enforcement, of course, like I said, law enforcement, we'll let any law enforcement officer in. Right now, we've got the associate members restricted because we're not looking for high numbers or high volume of people as much as we are looking for a select type of people.
Sure, of course. Now, in the few minutes that I've been here and spoken with you, I get the impression that you're one of the key individuals here and very involved. Tell us how you got involved. You've had a career in life in law enforcement already, right?
Well, I've 43 years so far.
Okay.
I started out in 1974 with the Highway Patrol and then retired here in Brunswick County
I see.
in 2003, and then went with the Sheriff's Department of New Hanover County. I work Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday in New Hanover, and work Thursday and Friday in Brunswick. So I'm still working both counties. I just work on the civil side now. So I'm not actually arresting people, so that's good. So I enjoy that part of it.
Yeah. But you're here a number of days every week also, I guess.
I'm here a lot.
All right.
A lot. I'm if something goes wrong, obviously I'm the one they're going to call because I'm the president of the association.
I see.
And I'm not sure how many years that's been.
I should have started our interview with this because safety is the first thing you say and the last thing you say. So let's talk about safety.
Oh, yes. Yeah, safety is paramount. Our rules, we started out with essentially no rules to mount to anything. Now it's probably 2 or 3 pages worth of rules. Reason being is because of issues that has arose over a period of time to make sure that nobody's going to be injured. Firearms, as you know, is an Olympic sport. A lot of people, it's not about killing things, it's about shooting. And I'm one of them. I'm a big hunter. But I'd much rather come out here and shoot and go hunt.
Absolutely.
It's just more enjoyable.
Yeah.
But you got to safety is paramount.
But when it comes to safety, no exceptions. No.
There is no exceptions to the rule.
Yeah.
None whatsoever. That's the reason we have the rules. Make sure everyone comes out here, has a good time.
Sure.
But there is nothing out here, no matter how much money we got tied up in this place, that's worth someone getting hurt over.
Absolutely. Sir, we thank you for being with us. We're going to talk to Mr. Sandoval also here in a few minutes.
Okay, well,
Thanks again.
Well, good luck with talking with him,
All
but
right.
he is one of our best members.
That's great.
And
Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
I'm here with Reggie Sandoval. Mr. Sandoval, thanks for being with us.
I appreciate you being here.
No, you have a great story to tell also, and you've been very involved in the association here. Tell us about that.
Well, we have a bunch of guys that come over here that are retired senior citizens, but they sometimes they've never been able to shoot firearms and are new to it. And Roy was kind enough to give us time on the range, even though they're not retired law enforcement. And every Wednesday we come over here and we shoot. We have good time. Everybody stays safe. But it's amazing how many people have been here over the last 6 years on a Wednesday morning.
Now, you're talking about the Wednesday group that's here as we speak. And I understand they're a group of senior citizens that a group that come virtually every Wednesday.
Pretty much. And IDAP stands for I Don't Aim Properly.
Is that the name of the group?
That's the name of the group.
All right.
And they're from all over the United States, really. We have a few people that immigrated here to Brunswick County, but it's been a good group to work with. We've helped the range has helped us, and you know, we got a good fun shoot coming up in September.
That's what I want
for you to be here.
You just launched me into my next question. Let's talk about your event in September.
Okay, what we're doing is raising money for the range, and we're giving away gifts. A firearm is one of them. A Yeti cooler will be another. And some concealed carry stuff. I have a special group out of Jacksonville. And also we have a thing called a Barrett 50 caliber sniper rifle, which we bring over here, and you get to shoot it just like the Marines and the Army snipers do. And it's a hoot because everybody gets a big smile, and when they shoot it, you get a chance to come over and shoot a 50. Not many people have a chance to do that.
Let's talk about the date so our folks will know.
September 23rd on about 10 o'clock you can start showing up. The 50 only shoot from 11 to 12. At 12 we eat lunch, but the 50 can come out after that. But,
all right. And the cost?
It's $10 a round to shoot the 50, $5 to the club, $5 to the Cancer Fund, and then it's $10 to get in here and eat a hot dog, hamburger, and shoot.
Well, it'll be a great day. It'll be
Absolutely.
a great day. You mentioned the Greer Group, and I want to talk about them for a second. They're a nationally known outfit that come here periodically for training purposes.
Well, they're the opposite of the senior citizens. Okay. They're a bunch of special op Marines out of Jacksonville that have now no longer active in Marines, but they're SWAT team commanders and that kind of stuff. They run and gun. If you want to know how to shoot ARs and get out of vehicles, that stuff, they've got it. My group, we shuffle and shoot. There's no run and gun out of this.
All right, clearly, different groups, different strokes for different folks.
Yeah.
But back to the Greer Group, are they available to your membership for that kind of training?
They're available to anyone. They have a website, which I do not know on the tip of my tongue, but it will be on our stuff we sell you. But they're available for training anytime, anywhere. They even train for people around nuke plants and stuff like that. They're a special ops type group.
Before we went on camera, we talked about the concept of protection and the fact that we have large numbers of senior citizens here in our county, and let's face it, 911 will be there as quickly as they can, but they're not there in a minute. So let's talk about that.
Well, I realized that when we had the ladies out shooting from our community, and most of them were in their 70s and 80s. And anytime we travel around the country, whether we're at rest areas, traveling home to family, for a young predator, we look like a prey item. And that's about as basic as I can tell you on that. And a lot of the women will look you straight in the eyes and say, I refuse to be a prey item. But that is it. The retired community becomes a weaker looking community to a predator.
And let's say very frankly, for them, protection is a significant issue.
Absolutely. Nobody's going to be between you and them. And if a cop could get there in 10 minutes, he would. But it's very doubtful that he can.
Yeah.
So,
Reggie Sandoval, thank you for being with us. It's a great story that all of you have to tell, and we're eager to tell it on ATMC television. Thank you for watching Our Hometown. If you have an idea for a show, email us at atmctv.com. Be sure to tune in next month for more of Our Hometown.
Stay connected with your community channel. Like ATMC TV on Facebook today.
Just over a year ago, we constructed a brand new 911 center, and it was important to us to have a level of redundancy that we did not previously have. It's critical that we provide 911 to everybody at all times, not just if everything's working well.
When Tom called me and said that they were building the new 911 center, we knew right away that we needed to provide them with access to fiber technology. And not just any kind of fiber technology, we wanted to provide them with redundant routes. So in the event that there was a fiber cut or a serving office goes down, we will be able to provide them a certain level of redundancy and reliability.
It's critical that we stay online. Every call is a plea for help. When you call 911, typically it's one of the worst times of your life. You're reaching out to someone else for help. We're here to provide that service, and it's critical that we provide that service.
So during the construction of the new 911 center, Tom and I worked together to coordinate continuity of services for the old center while we were splicing fiber for the new center.
It's important to the Sheriff's Office to have a local partner who is just as committed to our cause as we are. I go to church with a lot of these folks. I see people out, we raise our children together. You know them, you trust them, you know they're going to do what they say they do.
We feel that it's very important to be a trusted partner with Brunswick County Sheriff's Office E911 Communications Center. We are serving the first responders that are serving our residents in Brunswick County. We take that responsibility very seriously.
I feel like ATMC can provide the level of service and technology that a lot of the larger providers do provide. On top of that, they provide the local level of service. If there's a problem, I can pick up the phone and call many people to get results.
We use this grant to purchase some microscopes that are touch screen, and they can look at the organisms that are living in their environment here on the school campus. It's a great addition to our science lab that we're building here. Some of these students don't usually get to use microscopes. This way we can bring it to them in a real world environment. I heard about the ATMC grant program through my principal. It means a great deal to us, especially at Guideway. We're a small community, and we're trying to create a science lab here that we did not have before. So any funds that comes from the community, it makes us feel like they see our vision for the science lab in general, and they're giving back to us, which is in turn given to the children, which is also coming back to the community. Hopefully we have some scientists here working today, and they're going to want to come back to their area and live and become customers of ATMC.